The internet. It's filled with many wondrous tools and assets so that you can learn and seek out stuff that you may never find anywhere else. You can explore the world from the comfort of your own home. You can read spooky stories that other people have posted because it's spooky. Or you can watch other people make videos about them doing some really dumb stuff to get attention. The internet can also be harvested for evil, like V-Bucks scams and Robux scams. Saltiness. It is true that the internet can be used for beautiful things like SoundCloud, allowing artists to share their vision of the world in song, or YouTube, allowing people to, well,
Anything is possible in the world.
We'll just skip over that one. But DeviantArt. Oh my. You know, despite what I may have said about DeviantArt in the past, they do have some pretty talented people who come there to share their view of the world and express it in art form. Even the stuff that I don't like on here is still, really fantastic and really well done. But most importantly, we have stories to tell from the internet. From things that will live forever.
Better than we usually do.
Alright, chums up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Dragons!
Oh my god, he just ran in.
Oh wait, that's a dead meme. But we also have stories to tell that are a lot less fun. Like the time somebody was scammed into sending all their V-Bucks to somebody. I don't know why I keep bringing that up, but I keep doing it, so I should probably stop right now. The point is, YouTube and all those other websites can be used for great things, but some of them have been used for terrible things. Like, let's take illymations, for example, a YouTube channel with a decent amount of subscribers. Their latest video that got onto trending was probably one of her worst, in my opinion, and I've watched a couple of them, and I can tell you, this one's bad. But it's not bad in the sense of quality or voice acting, which falls into quality. It's bad in the sense of message. No, I'm not saying that the fact that she deals with serious topics in this episode is bad, but the way she handles these topics could be handled better. Into a video that's marketed to people who are going through this, you'd think she'd explain them differently, or do a better job of explaining them. But she doesn't. So, what do? Well, obviously, I'm going to make a documentary about her because I have nothing else to do with my sad, disgusting, and miserable life. I'm going to make a documentary about her because why not? I got nothing better to do. I'm actually just making this documentary for people who are going through this situation that do actually need help. And hopefully, this video will explain to them that there are better ways of getting help. But I can't do it all in one sitting. I'm going to have to do with what I did on the last video. I had to do it in parts, not separate videos, because I'm going to get into why that's a bad idea. Well, never mind. I'm not going to split it into separate and different videos just to make money off of it because my YouTube channel isn't monetized and I kind of just want to do this for fun and my own enjoyment and not have to work at it. Maybe I'll get monetized in the future. I don't know. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to split up these videos into phases. First phase is going to take a long time to make, and it's going to be talking about something else. Then there's a second phase, and then there will finally be a third phase, otherwise known as the conclusion. The conclusion will wrap up everything that I've discussed in the video, and will explain why I believe this way, or why I think that this should have been a certain way, and why I think it should be handled differently next time she makes a video like this. So, without any further ado, let's get into the video. Content. Content is everything in a YouTube video, and this video sure has a lot of content in it. Animation, to jokes, to furry memes, and, well, storytime YouTuber stuff normally. The story starts out with her getting on this furry website called Art Spots, where she gets to draw different things. There's this little chat bar that nobody ever uses anymore, because nobody ever uses Art Spots anymore, because people realize that nobody uses Art Spots anymore, so they shut the whole thing down. But somebody in the sidebar kept giving her compliments. It turns out this guy was 17, and he said he was in a relationship with someone else, but he was getting friend zoned and something like that. You know what? I'll put the link to the video in the description, because I really don't want to recap the whole thing, but I'm going to have to, otherwise some of this won't make sense. So she gets hooked on this guy and basically starts talking to him a lot. And the first mistake that you'll notice is that she has this thing called an advocate. The advocate appears throughout all of this video, and he's portrayed as a snarky jerk, but I'll get into that a little bit later, and why that's a bad idea. So what she says is that she's making this video for people who are as young as she is, who were young as she was at that age, mind you, who are going through something similar. That sounds like a good idea, right? To share your story and explain what they can do differently. She doesn't explain what you can do differently. She just kind of tells you the story. She says that this is a 3-part series, or it should be broken up into a 3-part series, because this series is really long. She also says that, if you look at the bottom, you'll see that the video is 10 minutes long. 10 minutes long! To what rounds out to be a story that could probably be easily summed up in, don't give your personal information to strangers that you've never met in real life, and you'll avoid this problem. But nope, she decides to milk it into 3 parts and 10 minutes. Now, I can't say whether or not she actually wanted to do this, even though I just did, but bear with me on this point. I think she may be doing this for money. I cannot say that, and I don't want you to arouse an angry mob to go attack her for this. I don't have all the facts, and I don't know everything. But what I can say was, from an outsider's perspective, this looks like just a simple ploy to make money. Also, it's a serious topic to her. It is a bad thing that somebody would be pressuring you into sending explicit and nude pictures of yourself, but why would you monetize it? Let's take another video, for example, My Mentally Abusive Father. Yes, it's longer than 10 minutes, but it explains things perfectly. It gives you a good ending. It lets you get help like this, although, well, I guess my abusive ex-boyfriend gives you sites to handle with this. But it doesn't give too much detail. It's short and simple and to the point. It explains what was going on and explains the help that you need. And the video is not monetized, and it was not broken up into 3 parts. This is a serious topic, and she knew that, and now she's made it only 1 part long. It's 16 minutes, which is a little bit longer than this video, but then again, why is this video 16 minutes, and this video that says it's a super long video is only 10 minutes long? The minimum amount of time you need to make a video monetizable. To make money off of it, it has to be 10 minutes long. Oh, but David, it's technically 10 and 30... Shut up. It's 10 minutes long, and to what an outside viewer would see, it just looks like a ploy to get more money. Ergo, more ads, more money, more revenue, more whatever it's called, more AdSense dollars. I think that's what it's called. The point is, it looks like a way to get money. And the people who are on the outside of this, they don't know that. So they'll watch the video and then realize that it didn't really help them with their problems. The description did. How do you avoid it? Oh boy. This is a little tricky. In the story, she says that he kept pressuring her into doing stuff that she didn't want to do. He would always threaten to kill himself, or he would just go silent and it would scare her. This would scare me pretty bad too. I didn't want to be the result of somebody killing themselves. And the advocate comes along and says, why don't you just log off? And this is the problem. Okay, so she says if she logs off, this guy has all of her information, her address, her phone number. He would make fake phone numbers to harass his other girlfriend, and I'll get into her into a little bit. But the point is, he would find her. And why would you give somebody you never met, you have never seen in person, your information? Even if he was the nicest best guy, practically borderlining saint. He was this great guy. Don't ever give anyone your contact information. Make sure your parents know. Make sure your friends know. Make sure you know who they are, what they look like, what their background is. Okay, well, maybe that one's a little... But the point is, don't give your information to somebody who you've never met. This guy is a stranger. You don't know him. You may think that you did at that time, but you don't. And I personally kind of feel sorry for her, because it sounds like either she wasn't listening to her parents, but most likely she was never told. She was never told by her parents what the consequences were. And that, to me, is kind of basic parenting 101. Hey, don't talk to strangers. This guy's a stranger. Why would you talk to him? Log off immediately. Throw your computer in a dumpster. Actually, don't do that because that's expensive. The problem here is she's neglected to say that. She doesn't want to say that. And I don't know why. When you see someone like this, log off. But instead of doing that, she tries to sympathize with people who haven't logged off. Instead of telling them, hey, because I've been through this situation, you need to log off when this happens to you. She says, I was a kid. Yes, you were a kid. No, you had no idea that this would get so bad. But by the time you are 15, you need to quit. Like, cut it off. Say no. But at that point, it should be kind of obvious. And, okay, she was a kid. She didn't know any better. But if you tell her that, or if you tell her everything that I just said, she will always say that you're blaming the victim. I haven't told her myself, but in the video, the advocate will say something like that, and she'll say that you're blaming the victim. I am, for 100%, not blaming the victim for things that Harris did. Harris should have known better. He's 21. He should have known better, and practically, I think he may be mentally insane, because you did present the fact that this was CP, and he could go to jail for this. You said so yourself. You threatened him with jail. But instead, he uses ploys and stuff and weird words. He acts so creepy that he may actually be mentally ill. And they're kind of unpredictable, if you haven't noticed. The point is, don't give people your contact information. But let's talk about the advocate for a second. This guy. Well, he's basically me and everybody else who questions her. But she paints him as this evil bad guy, an accomplice to Harris, something awful, something truly horrible that Harris did, and you're agreeing with Harris. And you're thinking that we'll walk along and say, that's none of my business, and we're the bad guys because we question you? And you call us misogynistic? Actually, that wasn't in this video, but in another video called I Was Sexually Harassed at Chick-fil-A. Great title, by the way. I love the way you had to make that video. You absolutely had to. You didn't even say how to avoid it. You just made that video. Why would you do that? But she does call the advocate misogynistic. Why? He wants to know. We have questions. We have questions for you. And she does put something in the comment section. Nowhere in the description, not in the video, but in the comment section answering questions. And you know what? Let's look for a second of what she said when we said you're lying and you're doing this for views. Because that's my question. Are you doing this for views? Let's look at what she says. Wow. I mean, wow. Why? Why would you do that? We just want to know, and you're going to call us dumb for questioning you? Why? How does that make people want to be your friend? How does that make people want to sympathize with you? But she does have a loyal following of people who either didn't ask the questions or just don't care. But I am asking questions. I'm not a follower. I'm not subscribing to her unless she does something amazing or something I actually want to see. But David, why did you pick this video in the first place? Shouldn't you be better off with leaving it alone? Well, that's what she said in the video. If I just walk by and say that's none of my business, I'm not helping anyone. And after seeing the video, I kind of realized something that I probably should have
exactly
done
what he
sooner,
wanted to
but
hear.
you
I
know,
don't wanna
these
go hang
videos
out
take
with my
time. Conclusion. Sometimes people on the internet do not help you. Like with the BetterHelp situation that's going on right now, online interactions to try and get help is not the way to do it. Go to a therapist if you need help. Talk to someone in real life, like a person. Interact with people. Tell people your problems. Get help in the real world. Not over the internet, not overseas, not on a little tiny cell phone. Get help. Talk to family. Talk to friends. Talk to God. But this video, despite it having something in the description about having people go into a website to help themselves with this problem, and technically in the video she does put something there that says if you or a loved one is going through this, but she said herself that she was going to help, that she was making this video for people who were younger than she was, or as young as she was at that time, who's going through a similar situation. She's not helping people. This is not the best way. And if you are someone who's going through this, don't use this video. Don't use this video to try and boost your confidence. If it does, great. If it gives you information you didn't know about, great. I'm all for that. But I am not professional. I am not the help that you need if you are going through this. And if somebody is doing this to you, turn off the computer. Leave the game. You don't have to do that. I've been in this situation before. So if you want to type in the comments and say, David, you have no idea how it felt. You have never been in this situation before. And no, I have never been in that severe of a situation before. But I have been in similar situations that started this way. Somebody did grooming, somebody has done this stuff, but I recognized it immediately because I have people who told me what it looks like. Not the video, but real people in the real world that taught me what the signs were, and I was able to turn off the computer and leave the server and go to somewhere else. That's basically all you need to do.
Lonely is the night when you find yourself alone. Your demons come alive and your mind is not your own. Lonely is the night when there's no one left to call. You feel the time is right, say the writing's on the wall. Yeah. It's a hard time to fight.
Why didn't you just leave? Just log off. I did, but again, he had every means to contact me, even my home address. So if I just logged off, he could swat me.
If I